have to simplify. In this chapter, they don't really get any higher than 5, and usually they're not even this high. So this is kind of a lengthy problem because it's just a lot of work you got to show. All right, so a to the n power, 4x to the 5th. All right, that's going to decrease by 1 as b is increasing by 1. The coefficient is n, choose n minus 1. And again, we can check these have to match up. 5, choose 3. The a value goes down, the b value goes up. So when you get familiar, you can basically do these as fast as I'm doing them, if not faster. 5, choose 2, a to the 2nd power, b to the 3rd power. 5, choose 1. Okay, I'm running out of room here. I gotta see. Also running out of lead. All right, can I squeeze this last one on the paper? Let's write it down and see if it works. 5, choose 0, basically, or just the b value to the 5th power. Can we see that? Sure. All right, we're good. Let's see if I need some more lead here. That one might be done. Good thing I got a backup here. All right. Now, if it said don't simplify, we'd be done, but it actually doesn't say that, so we do need to simplify this down. So we might need a calculator here. 4 to the 5th power. If I have to think, I'll use a calculator. 4 to the 5th is 1,024. X to the 5th. All right. 5. So here's where, again, if you know some shortcuts, this can save you, because it's still going to be a lot of calculator work. 5, choose 4, I know is 5, times 4 to the 4th power times negative 3. Should know that every other term is negative. Shouldn't even put a plus there. X to the 4th. I know the x values are the exponent on the variable is going to go down each time. All right, next one. Again, it's helpful to know the little tricks when they're close together. Now, if they're far apart, like if I say, I don't know, 9 choose 3 or something like that, that gets a little harder to do in your head. There's still ways to do that, but I think when they're two numbers or less, or two numbers apart or less, it's probably good to know the little tricks so you can save some time. So basically you got 5 times 4, which is 20. Cut that in half is 10. So that's 10. But again, if I don't know that, I can use this 5 math PRB 3, and I can get, whoops. I see how, oh, I didn't put the 3 in. 5 math PRB 3 stands for combination, and then another 3, and there's my 10. All right, so we got 10 times 4 cubed times, let's see, negative 3 to the 2nd power is 9. Whoops. That's why I don't like using a calculator sometimes. Times 9 is 5,760. Now here's where it's also good to know it's symmetrical. 5 choose 3 and 5 choose 2 got to be the same answer. So this is 10, this is 16. Sometimes I show a little work up there. Negative 3 cubed is negative 27. So instead of punching all those numbers in, I'm punching in 10 times 16 times negative 27. Probably won't even hit the negative because I know, even though I keep writing plus, that these signs are going to alternate. And when I'm done, I would probably check to see, I missed x here, x to the third. All right, this is x squared. I've also noticed I'm forgetting my y's. So some of these I would probably catch later. Again, the x and y have to add up to 5. All right, third term. Again, I know this is 5. I know this is 4. Negative 3 to the 4th power, that's what, 81. 20 times 81, 2 times 81 is 162 with a 0 on it. X to the first, y to the 4th. Again, we could use a calculator if we need to. And then the last term, negative 3 to the 5th power. Probably should know what that is, but whatever. Negative 243, y to the 5th. So now I check. All right, x's, got my y's. A little hard to see, but there it is. So, a little tedious problem. All right, is that it, or should we do one more example? I think I have one more example, and then I got a couple examples, 2 examples, I think. All right. Find 7th term of 3x minus 4x squared to the 14th power. All right, this one gets pretty hard. All right. When we had a problem kind of like that, that's similar to this one, but took a little work to get there. Could do the same thing here, but maybe not show a lot of work. Usually what I like to do is just try to figure out which term that is we're looking for. So like the first term we know is x to the 14th. All right, second term 3x to the 13th. And this to the first power, 12, 2. If you notice, I'm not even writing them down. 11, 3, 10, and 4, 9, and 5, 8, and 6. All right, so that's what I'm looking for. So instead of writing out all 7 of the first terms, I just need to concentrate on that one. I know there are 3 parentheses, so I know it's 3x to the 8th and the b value to the 6. Coefficient would be n. Choose the exponent on the a value. So 14 choose 8. I don't really have a great method to doing that in my head, so I just figure it out. 3,000. Oh wait, did it say not to simplify? Oh yeah, we don't have to. Yeah, I forgot to write that down. Don't simplify it. You could, but if it says don't simplify, don't waste your time, because this number would get pretty large. So there's your answer right there. Okay. Two more examples. Find coefficient of x to the 4th in 3 minus x to the 6th. The first thing I would do, I would always write the variable first. Now make sure it's negative x plus 3. So if they flip it around, I'm going to flip it back. That's just a preference of mine. But if you don't do that, you got to change some of the rules you have. All right. I can write all of them down, or I could just concentrate on x to the fourth. So here's my a value, or here's my n. Choose for a value to the fourth power, b value to the second power. These two have to add up to 6. 4 and 2 is 6. Why I know this is I need it to be x to the fourth. Double check, is this answer going to give me x to the fourth? Sure. Now it gets a little harder in the next example, like when we put a variable, not a variable, an exponent on the variable. But if there's no exponent on the variable, if it says x to the fourth, make this x to the fourth. If this said x to the third, make this x to the third. So whatever they say here, I just repeat it right there. Now we figure it out. 6 choose 4, 6 times 5 is 30, divided by 2 is 15, or I could use a calculator. Negative to the fourth power is positive, so this is x to the fourth. 3 squared is 9, 15 times 9 is 135. Check the problem. This is the term. The coefficient is the number in front of the term. Last example, find the term containing x to the 8th in this problem. Now they're asking for terms, so when we get to that final step, we do want to include the x. Again, they're written backwards, so I'm just going to flip them. Here's my a, here's my b. All right, now I can't do exactly what I did in the other problem. Like, I know the n is 12, but it's not going to be n 12 choose 8. Because I know if I, let me just write this, but this is not going to be right. If I do this, I can see, okay, multiply these exponents. 2 times 8 is 16. Well, that's not the term x to the 8th. That's x to the 16th. So I need to choose something else. What I like to say, just because these numbers aren't that big, do a guess and check until you find what's going to give you x to the 8th. I would always start with half of what n is and just work your way from there. Your answer is going to be fairly close to half of n. So n is 12, half of 12 is 6. Does this give me x to the 8th? 2 times 6 is 12. Nope, too big, so I need to make this smaller. 5 would give me x to the 10th, still too big, so make it 1 smaller. 4, does that give me x to the 8th? Sure, 2 times 4 is 8. Now if that's an 8, we know they add up to 12. This has to be an 8. 4 plus 8 is 12. Okay, so it's a guess and check how you get that answer. All right, they want the term, so we got to calculate this. 12 choose 8. Don't have any great method of doing that in my head, so I'll just use the calculator. 12 choose 8 is 495. 3 to the 4th is 81. There's my x to the 8th, so now I feel better that I got the right term. 2 to the 8th power, 256. Now we need to figure these out, so I multiply these numbers. 256 times 495 times 81, and we get this answer in the millions. And there it is. And that's the end of the lesson, and that's the end of the week. So again, no quiz this week, short chapter. All right. Have a good week.